Healing Through Forgiveness, Part 9. I call for the courage and the freedom to be myself, to forgive myself, and to forgive all others. Please grab your water bottle, glass of water at this time, and your journal and pen and paper. Ashe. God does not condemn me with his thoughts about me. Why then would I deny his thoughts and choose thoughts that condemn me with my own choice of thoughts? I make my reality, myself, and my perception of everything that needs to happen to me. I choose everything that I see. It was all ego, edging God out, so I could keep my self-righteousness feelings and its ruthlessness of my ego reigning supreme in my mind. Forgiveness is a silent, intimate teacher. She is always ready to bring out the lessons you need, whether or not you want to learn them. Forgiveness is the mother who soothes the rough edges of your life, enabling the willing heart and mind to surrender. I forgive myself for judging my weaknesses and failures. Today's forgiveness practice is about forgiving what we judge as weaknesses within ourselves and the experiences we perceive as failures. Weaknesses and failures can keep you stuck in a shame, guilt, and self-doubt. As human beings, we are prone to prize perfection. When we judge ourselves as imperfect, self-criticism will take the place of compassion in our minds and hearts. All things are lessons that God would have us learn. Unfortunately, if we don't know that class is in session, we can judge the things we do and the things that happen to be bad and personal failures. With today's practice, we will take those judgments to the table of forgiveness. You are encouraged to consider relationships, work experiences, hopes, wishes, dreams, and incomplete cycles of actions, things you began but did not complete. And be sure to forgive the feelings and beliefs about yourself that you have attracted to the so-called weaknesses and failures. All things are lessons that God would have us learn. The Forgiveness Process Guidelines. Find a place, a quiet place, where you will not be disturbed for at least 30 to 60 minutes. Still your mind for at least 5 minutes, or to listen to the stillness meditation. Read the forgiveness prayer once silently and then once aloud. Scan the emotional trigger list. Write out the 12 forgiveness statements for today's topic on thinking, judging, and believing in your forgiveness journal. Perform the forgiveness tapping sequences. Process thoughts and feelings consciously through your forgiveness journal reflections. Listen to the gratitude meditation to make sure you're balanced and grounded. After you complete the tapping process, complete the day's practice in quiet reflection or with meditative music. And then make sure that you do something good for yourself today. At this time, you will, on your time, listen to the stillness meditation. A prayer of forgiveness. You're going to read it yourself silently and then aloud. But for today, we're going to read it aloud together. My dear Lord, help me. Help me to remember what I desire and to forget what I have done. Help me to forget what I haven't done so that I will remember what I can do. Help me to hear and know your voice when you are guiding me, inspiring me, and leading me into new experiences, new opportunities, and new possibilities. Help me to see new ways of being as I release old ways of seeing. Help me to release. Help me to surrender. Help me today. I rest in thee. I let it be. And so it is. At this time, please scan the emotional trigger listings and write down the words that pop out at you in your forgiveness journal. The 12 statements that you must complete. The first category, I forgive my mind for thinking. I forgive my mind for thinking I am weak because. I forgive my mind for thinking I am weak when. I forgive my mind for thinking I failed at. I forgive my mind for thinking I failed when. I forgive myself for judging. I forgive myself for judging myself as weak because. I forgive myself for judging myself as a failure because. I forgive myself for judging myself as weak when. I forgive myself for judging myself as a failure when. Last category. I forgive myself for believing. I forgive myself for believing I am weak because. I forgive myself for believing I am weak because. I forgive myself for believing I am weak because. I forgive myself for believing I am weak because. We will now start the tapping process. What you see here demonstrated is the karate chop, where you have your left hand up and your right hand as tapping. Let us begin. The forgiveness tapping process. Identify the issue, rate the intensity level. We'll be doing the clearing resistance and the reversal statement, the setup statement, the tapping sequence, and then you're going to recheck your intensity level. I forgive my weaknesses and failures. Identify the issue and rate the intensity level. Review each of the 12 forgiveness statements out loud. This will help you identify the specific aspects of the issue that you would like to tap on. When you're done with that, you're going to rate the intensity level of any unforgiveness that you hold about the topic for today on a scale of 1 to 10 and write that number down. Do not overthink it. The clearing and the resistance and reversal statement is to neutralize all subconscious resistance. Repeat a reversal statement 3 times while tapping continuously on the karate chop point. Let us begin. Even though there is a part of me that is resistant to forgiving my failures and weaknesses, no one can make me change my mind. I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Keep tapping. Even though there is a part of me that is resistant to forgiving my failures and weaknesses, no one can make me change my mind. I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Keep tapping. Even though there is a part of me that is resistant to forgiving my failures and weaknesses, no one can make me change my mind. I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Please shake your hands out at this time and take a sip of water. The setup statement focuses on the issue you will be tapping on. Repeat a setup statement 3 times while tapping continuously on the karate chop point. Let us begin. Even though I have all this pent-up unforgiveness toward my weaknesses and failures, I have a right to be angry with them. I refuse to release them because it's my anger, my resentment, my bitterness, which are all my feelings that I feel are valid. But I still have love for myself and respect my feelings. Keep tapping. Even though I have all this pent-up unforgiveness toward my weaknesses and failures, I have a right to be angry with them. I refuse to release them because it is my anger, my resentment, my bitterness, which are all my feelings that I feel that are valid. But I still love myself and respect my feelings. Keep tapping. Even though I have all this pent-up unforgiveness toward my weaknesses and failures, I have a right to be angry with them. I refuse to release them because it is my anger, my resentments, my bitterness, which are all my feelings that I feel that are valid, but I still love myself and respect my feelings. Please stop tapping, shake out your hands, and at this time, please take a sip of water. We will now start the tapping rounds through the 10 meridians. Please make sure that you have your water next to you. Again, we'll be moving a lot of energy. I will be reading the statement out loud. Please close your eyes and tap where I direct you to go. Ashe. Eyebrow. I feel really, really angry. Side of eye. I feel really, really disgusted. Under eye. I feel really bitter about some of the things my weaknesses has made me do and not do. Keep tapping. Under nose. I absolutely resent my failures. Chin. I feel really, really exhausted by my weaknesses. Collarbone. I feel angry, bitter, resentful, and damaged. Underarm. I feel that I do not deserve any forgiveness. Keep tapping. Liver. Even if I do deserve to be forgiven, I won't allow it to happen. Wrist. Together. I understand that I am carrying around a mountain of unforgiveness. Crown of head. I am so profoundly angry with myself that I have no other choice. Keep tapping. Round number 2. Eyebrow. I keep beating myself up about the past weaknesses. Side of I. I'm not going to let myself get away with the damage I have done to myself. Under I. What if forgiving my failures could eliminate the pain and hurt from my life? Under nose. What if I just open my heart to releasing a little bit of this rage? Keep tapping. What if I acknowledge, chin, what if I acknowledge that I did the best I could in recognizing my weaknesses? Collarbone. I don't believe that I did the best I could do. Underarm. What if I choose to forgive my failures, just as I would forgive anyone else's failures? Keep tapping. Liver. What if I did the best I knew how to do at the time? Wrist together. What if forgiving my weaknesses shows myself some compassion that takes me into a state of peace and freedom, joy and happiness? Crown of head. What if I forgive my failures and nothing happens, nothing changes? Continue tapping. Round 3. Eyebrow. Forgiving my weaknesses does not mean I am not entitled to the way I feel. Side of I. What if forgiving my failures opens my heart to more love, more joy, more everything that I want? Under I. What if forgiving my weaknesses is the path to what I really want? Keep tapping. Under nose. What if forgiving my weaknesses also means forgiving myself? Chin. It's a setup. I'm not going to forgive my failures. Collarbone. Well, I'm willing to forgive my weaknesses, and perhaps it would lead to forgiving myself. Underarm. In fact, just thinking about feeling better makes it worth it. Keep tapping. Liver. Perhaps I can find some other reason to forgive my failures. Wrist together. I am at least willing to consider forgiving my weaknesses. Crown of head. Better than that, I am choosing to forgive my failures. If it is a better choice I can make for myself. Stop tapping at this time. Please wring out your hands. Let us go through a breathing process. You just moved a lot of energy around. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Slowly release it. And softly through your mouth. Inhale deeply again through your nose. Hold it. Release it slowly through your mouth. Again, take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it and slowly release your breath through your mouth. Please take a few sips of water. I know that this tapping process may have drug up some things, so please be gentle with yourself. Ashe. At this time, you're going to recheck your intensity level. Recheck your intensity level on holding unforgiveness about your weaknesses and failures. If the level is at a 7 or higher, Repeat the entire 3-round tapping sequence by rewinding this video back. If the level is less than 7 but greater than a 3, pull out your 12 forgiveness statements that you wrote in your forgiveness journal and tap on the karate chop point using those statements. If your level is a 3 or less, you can stop. But if you would like to continue in order to get down to a 0, which is goals, tap on the karate chop point and say the following statement. Even though I still have some stubborn judgments about myself and some resistance to letting them go, I am willing to let them go, and I love and accept myself totally and unconditional. To keep tapping. Even though I still have some stubborn judgments about myself and some resistance to letting them go, I am willing to let them go, and I love and accept myself totally and unconditionally. Number 3, keep tapping. Even though I still have some stubborn judgments about myself and some resistance to letting them go, I am willing to let things go, and I love and accept myself totally and unconditionally. Stop tapping, shake out your hands, and please take a sip of water. At this point, you can recheck your intensity level to see if you're still holding on to any unforgiveness about your weaknesses and failures, and also to see if you have gotten down to a 0 level of intensity. At this time, you would be doing your guided gratitude meditation, which you will be doing on your own today. But I want to thank you for making this commitment to yourself. Make sure that you breathe and drink plenty of water. The next time we will meet, it will be pre-recorded on Wednesday, July 19th at 10 a.m.